Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Today we're going to be harvesting some of our beautiful pineapple sage, and we're going to be dehydrating it and also sharing some tips on different ways to use pineapple sage. And you can see the turmeric is getting really big and beautiful. It has grown a lot since the last video. We will be harvesting turmeric this year, and I've already made a video on how to do that, so I'll probably try to add it to the end screen so y'all can check it out. It grows quite well here in the south. But today we're going to be working on this pineapple sage, and this plant has really taken off. So it's time to catch it before it goes to blooming so that we can put it up and dehydrate it. So stay tuned. I'll be in the kitchen pretty soon, and we'll be putting up some pineapple sage. Alrighty, so we are in the kitchen fixing to clean up all of this pineapple sage. Very simple, very easy method that I use. So I have all of our pineapple sage. I harvested a bunch of it. Plant was huge. So all I do is stick the stem and all in the water. Shake it off a little bit, rinse it off in the water, and that's going to get any bugs off of it that we can find on it. And you can go through the leaves to see if there's any bad ones. If you see any bad ones, just go ahead and pull those off. Now I'm going to change the water. Rinse it out real good. Just using a dish pan. So on this time, I'm going to just sprinkle some salt in the water, and that's going to make whatever is on it let go. And I'm simply just going to strip all the leaves off of the stem and put it right back into the water, off of the stem. And then we will just harvest the stems, throw it in the compost bin. So I'm going to go ahead and get this finished, and I will bring y'all right back and show you what I do next. Alright, so frugal tip on getting the leaves off the stems. They have the herb strippers where you put it on the stem and pull it, and it strips the leaves. Now, some of these plants were a little bit larger, and when I come across one, I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's best to go ahead and whenever you pinch it off of the stem, to just go ahead and pinch it off really close to the stem so that there's not extra stem left by the leaf. So we've got them all ready. All we're going to do is pick them up and try not to disturb the bottom and put them into the colander and let them drain. If I catch any more with larger stems, I'll show you what I'm talking about. They will still dehydrate, but it may take a little longer. So let's see. I'm going to just pull them out and finish doing what I'm doing first, and then show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to do a little bit because I'm going to show you the next step. So like on these two leaves right here, they're real stemmy. So and they pinch off really easy. So I just put two together, and I'm just going to pinch it off with my thumb so that they're not there, and it will dehydrate a lot quicker. And now I'm going to put these in the salad spinner to get the excess water out of them. So I'm just going to load them up, however many I think can go in there. You don't want to overcrowd it. And then if you notice anything that's not okay, like this one here, I think has just a tad bit of like rust on it. I am literally going to just pinch it off, and back in the salad spinner it goes. It's not going to hurt anything, but if I notice it, I will just pinch it off. See if we can get a few more in there. And just simply going to put it in the salad spinner. Now you can skip this step, and some people do not even wash their herbs, but I find that after I wash them and I see what's in there in the water, I definitely will wash it. And you see it got a great amount of water out of it. I'll give it another couple of spins just to see if we can get a little more out, because that's going to speed up our dehydration time. Then your dehydrator doesn't have to work quite as hard. So let's see, we still got a little bit of water. You can see it in there. So we got a good bit out the first time and a good bit more out the second time. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I'll bring you back when I'm by the dehydrator. So all we're going to do is put it on the tray. You don't want to do it too thick because you want it to dry pretty good at a reasonable time. And you want to set your dehydrator, most dehydrators, on the lowest setting, which is around 95. Is what you usually do for herbs and leaves and stuff like that. So all I'm going to do is fill up these trays and not try to get them too crowded. And if I see any of those long stems like I told you about, how the leaves on the sage are a little stemmy, I'm just going to pinch them off as I go. They'll still dehydrate and they'll still be good, but it will make the dehydration time last a little longer. And I like to go ahead and pinch them off if I catch it. So we're not going to overfill our trays is the main thing with the herbs. And I may have to run my dehydrator twice because there was a lot of pineapple sage leaves. And I'm not going to do every single tray, but y'all have the idea. Just fill them up and not overcrowded them. So I'm going to go ahead and get this finished, and I will be back tomorrow, and I'll be right back so y'all see me pretty fast. And I'll share the rest of the information that I know about pineapple sage. Good morning, and thanks for hanging in there for just a couple of seconds. We had to wait and dehydrate the pineapple sage overnight. It took about 6 hours. It probably would have took less because it's very humid here in the south, but yet too rainy and humid to use the solar dehydrator, which is what I really wanted to do. But thank goodness and thank God we have a electric dehydrator. Mine's an old-timey one, old-fashioned one. It's not one of the new modern ones. I'll leave it in the description, and also I'll leave the coffee grinder in the description. I'm not affiliated with either one of these companies, but would like to give them credit for their wonderful products that they have created, because the Hamilton Beach coffee grinder is this little small grinder. Works excellent for herbs and also, of course, grinding coffee beans. And then my dehydrator is a NESCO American Harvest dehydrator and jerky maker. It just has the little trays. You can put as many as, I think, 10 trays. I think I have 6 trays. And then, of course, I have that solar dehydrator. So I'm going to read a disclaimer because I'm going to be telling you some of the health benefits from the research, from my herb books, different things that I've found out about the pineapple sage. So I'm going to go ahead and read the disclaimer, then we'll get into what all's going on with how I'm processing the pineapple sage. The content of this video is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any conditions or health conditions that you may have. Does not offer medical advice. I'm not a professional herbalist or a medical doctor, nor do I claim to be one. If you feel unwell, seek professional medical care. Always do your own research before trying new remedies. Talk to your doctor first if you are taking prescription medicine or even planning on starting something new. I'm just sharing what works for me, things that I've learned about this wonderful pineapple sage herb. Always, 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 always do your own research. So let's get into this. So I had all the 6 trays dehydrated. I want to talk about the dehydration first. I know you can probably hear this. You want to make sure the leaves are very crunchy and very dry. Next time I will let the plant go to the flowering stage, because there is also a lot of good health medicinal benefits in the flowers and some things that you can do with the flowers, and I'll cover a little bit of that. And make sure it's really crispy and crunchy dry. So I'll put it in my little coffee grinder. I put it into a mason jar. I always save, so repurpose, reuse, frugal tip, any glass spice jars, so you can keep them for dehydrating your own spices. So I just cleaned it out really good, let it air it out, and put the cap on it. I have a whole container here of pineapple sage, ground it up and ready to go. I'll put the excess, and I still have a few more to do, and plus I'll be harvesting it again pretty soon. I'll just keep adding it to this big jar, and I will vacuum seal it and put an oxygen absorber in it, because we are high humidity, just to make sure that it stays dry and fresh. Very simple, very easy process. The same thing with the flowers. The pineapple sage makes a beautiful deep dark tulip-like red flower. Really beautiful. Those are great for lots of different things. So pineapple sage can grow up to 4 to 5 feet wide and just as tall. They are a member of the mint family, but not invasive like mint. So like they'll grow to their spot and their max width and height, and they'll kind of stay right there. And they are extremely easy to propagate, and by just cutting off the ends of a stem, sticking it in water, sticking it in a root tone, sticking it in a pot of soil, they're supposed to root really, really easy and really fast. Or you can do the method that I use, just keep it in water until it makes roots, changing that water every couple of days. This herb attracts pollinators like bees and butterflies. Hummingbirds actually are attracted to the red flowers that bloom in the late summer, early fall, providing a nourishing little taste of nectar for them. So in the late season, there's not a lot of flowers blooming, but this one blooms late, so it provides nutrition for hummingbirds and bees and stuff. They grow quite well on a patio or a porch in like a large flower pot to attract those lovely bees and butterflies and hummingbirds right to your porch. We really enjoy watching the hummingbirds here on the homestead and the butterflies. So it's cool to have them around your porch or your patio area to attract that type of wildlife. Both the leaves and the flowers are edible. You can add the leaves to salads and smoothies. Add the leaves to sweetbreads, like chop it up in little, dice it fresh, chop it up real fine. Add it to lots of different dessert breads, sweet breads, lemon bread, banana bread, raisin bread, you name it. The possibilities are endless. And also add to muffins, pancakes, anything really. You can also use it as a rub for most any type of poultry, especially turkey and chicken. It's great on pork roast and some of the wild game. You would just mix it with olive oil, chop it up, dice it up, or you could use fresh ground, make a little paste and rub it all over that pork roast or that turkey or chicken or whatever. It is going to add a lot of flavor to that dish. With the pineapple sage flowers, You can make a vinegar infused, and it's a little process. I won't go into that today, but you can make a pineapple sage vinegar and use that vinegar for salad dressings, for a marinade. You also can use it to make fruit dips. There's lots of different things. I actually have 2 fruit dip recipes to share with y'all today, and that would be 4 tablespoons of pineapple sage vinegar, 4 tablespoons of honey, and 1 cup of plain or vanilla yogurt. And that you just want to mix it really good and chill it, and it makes a wonderful fruit dip. Fruit dip number 2, 4 tablespoons of chopped leaves and flowers, a half a cup of cream cheese, 1 cup of Cool Whip, and a splash of vanilla extract. Same thing, mix it well, chill it, and serve it with ginger snaps. You can serve it with apple slices, pears, whatever kind of fruit for a wonderful fruit dip. It is excellent in hot teas and cold teas and herbal teas. You can freeze the leaves and the flowers in ice cubes and pop them in your sweet tea. It's going to add flavor and nutrition and some beautiful color to your herbal teas or just sweet teas. Pineapple sage or regular sage is a must for making cornbread dressing for us here in the South for Thanksgiving. Got to have us some sage in our dressing. And we do the cornbread dressing here in the South. It also makes a great pineapple sage tincture. And one more thing that maybe you hadn't thought of, because it says pineapple sage, just like sage, it has a little bit of a pineapple flavor, a taste, a scent, but it's not overwhelming. So you also can use it when you make homemade breakfast sausage or smoked sausage. Most all sausage has regular sage in it, but the pineapple sage is going to do the same thing. So don't forget about that. Think outside the box. Don't let the pineapple throw you off that it's some different kind of sage. It's still sage. It's still good. Still use it the same way as you would regular sage. Just going to give you a little bit more of a pleasant, fruity smell, flavor, but it's very weak. You probably wouldn't even notice it in some cornbread dressing. What about the health benefits of pineapple sage? Pineapple sage is known to have properties that help as an antidepressant, anti-anxiety. It also helps to balance your nervous system. Extensively used in Mexican traditional medicine for anxiety, stress, the nervous system. It's a very calming, relaxing. It gives you that calming sense, so it's very good for all of that. Pineapple sage can also aid in digestion and heartburn. Pineapple sage is rich in vitamin K, a good source of vitamin A, B6, and C. Also contains dietary fibers, potassium. The red flower that this herb produces is a good source of antioxidant and antimicrobial, both beneficial to overall health and well-being. Pineapple sage was traditionally prescribed to help hypertension and many other uses for helping different health elements. It aids in digestion, also aids in helping with weight loss. It is also known to cool the body during sweltering summers, and it also can possibly help you with menopause because it helps to regulate hormones. It's aromatic. Add a fresh cut the stems with the leaves and the flowers to a vase to your home, and it smells absolutely wonderful. You can dehydrate it and use it as a spice, or you can dehydrate just the leaves, leave them whole, and add it to a potpourri. Let's see, where was I at? or you can eat fresh leaves while you're out in your garden. Just the smell of the pineapple sage will lift your moods with a calming and a relaxing scent. Pineapple sage tincture is also something to look into, especially during the times that America is facing right now. It lowers blood pressure, relieves mental fatigue. Need I say any more? I will definitely have this tincture on hand in case we need it. I mean, I think during these times we're all going to be a little more mentally stressed out. Maybe blood pressure's going up and down just with the stress of life right now. So definitely something I'm going to be adding to my tincture cabinet is pineapple sage tincture. So as there are many other health benefits and different ways that you can use pineapple sage to add it to your diet, add it to your cooking. Lots of health benefits and lots of good properties with this simple herb that is actually very easy to grow. Many have not even ever heard of a pineapple sage. I myself had not either, just ran across it and decided I would try it, and man, was I amazed too of all the health benefits. So always do your own research, look into it, do a little homework, and see if maybe pineapple sage is something you want to add to your herb garden or your homestead, and see if it can, if you and your family can also benefit from having the pineapple sage as an extra herb to add. And if nothing else, it adds a beautiful color to your garden and it smells amazing. Even if you didn't want to use it in herbs or tinctures or the medicinal part of it, it's still just a beautiful plant to have, you know, planted within your herb garden or your kitchen garden. It's beautiful. If you like dark red anyway, I love red, well, obviously. So it's very much so just an amazing herb. Lots more information on this herb. Of course, I can't tell you all of the benefits in one day. I don't even know all the benefits and all the great things about this herb. I just want to touch on it so you would have information about it, and maybe it's something you want to add to your diet or to your garden. So that's all I have. I saved one tray just so y'all could hear how crunchy the leaves are. Just make sure they're completely dry, and save those jars and put them in a grinder, and you'll have fresh sage to use however you want to use it. So that is it for today. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and thanks for leaving those friendly comments. If you have any more questions, always feel free to email me. So farewell, homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.